Friends, have you ever thought that the decisions you take are really yours? Or some invisible force is controlling you slowly, quietly, without making you feel? When someone gives you a small gift and you can't say no in return. When the crowd likes something and you also find it right. When someone speaks in a white coat and you listen to everything he says. So is this your intelligence or a psychological game being played with your mind? In today's video, we are going to delve into the depth of that book, which exposes these hidden buttons of human behavior, which shows why people say yes, how they say it, and when they say it without thinking. This video will not only talk about persuasion, it will tell you how the world influences you and how you can identify that influence and become the true master of your decisions. In this video, you will understand how the feeling of reciprocity, how it forces us to say yes to those people for whom we might have refused under normal circumstances. Commitment and consistency. Social proof. Social proof authority. Scarcity, limited time, and only few left. If you want to learn public speaking, or if you just want to know how people influence you, then this video can prove to be a game changer for you. Our goal on Bookpedia is not just to give a summary of books, but to make those ideas usable in your life. We want you not to just listen and move forward, but to understand, feel, and apply. Watch this video till the end, because in the end, we will talk about those practical insights that will help you immediately in everyday situations, whether it is negotiation, marketing, relationship, or personal growth. And if you want to get into the depths of such powerful and mind-shifting books, then subscribe to the Bookpedia channel right now, because here you will find in every video knowledge, clarity, and that edge that separates you from the crowd. So get ready, because from now on, you will not be a victim of influence, but will learn to control it by understanding the influence. Chapter 1. Reciprocation. Friends, have you ever felt that when someone gives you a small gift, you immediately feel a slight pressure that you should also return something? Whether you have asked for that gift or not, you still get a voice in your mind. Now I should also do something. This is the rule of reciprocation, a psychological principle that deeply controls human behavior. We have been taught since childhood that if someone does good for us, then we should also do good. This rule keeps society balanced, builds trust, strengthens relationships, but this rule also manipulates our decisions many times. Imagine you have gone to a mall and a salesperson gives you a free sample. You just tasted it, but now when he tells you to buy the product, it becomes difficult to say no directly. Why? Because your mind subconsciously thinks that he has given you something. So now it is your responsibility to return something. This is the reason why many charity organizations first send you a greeting card or a small gift, and then ask for a donation. The value of the gift is small, but its psychological impact is very big. The power of reciprocation is not limited only to business or sales. This rule also works everywhere in social life. If your friend gives you an expensive gift on your birthday, then next time you will also try not to give less than that. If a colleague helps you, then you are mentally ready to help him in the future. This rule makes us cooperative, but many times it also traps us in unwanted commitments. People first favor you, then gradually put a big request, because they know that once you feel obligated, you are more likely to say yes. The most interesting thing about this principle is that the return is not always equal. Many times we give a big commitment in return for a small favor. We feel that we are making a decision by free choice, but in reality our behavior is driven by social conditioning. In society, returning a thank you in favor is a strong norm, and breaking it makes us feel uncomfortable. Smart marketers and negotiators take advantage of this discomfort. But this does not mean that reciprocation is wrong. If it is understood consciously, then it can become a powerful tool for relationship building. When you genuinely help someone without a hidden agenda, then trust is built. Long-term success always depends on mutual respect and fair exchange. The only difference is that you have to be aware whether you are really returning from the heart or just because of pressure. Reciprocation teaches us that man cannot live alone. We survive on exchange and cooperation, but only those who can understand the difference between real kindness and strategic manipulation are smart. The next time someone gives you an unexpected favor, take a little pause and ask yourself, am I taking this decision with freedom or just because of obligation? Awareness is the shield that protects you from influence and teaches you to use it properly when needed. Chapter 2. Commitment and Consistency. Once you say yes, it is difficult to back out. Friends, humans want to have a special image of themselves. We want people to think of us as stable, trustworthy, and consistent. This is why when we say yes to something, it becomes mentally uncomfortable for us to change it later. The principle of commitment and consistency works on this human nature. Once we commit, we feel internal pressure to stay aligned with that decision. Imagine you have publicly announced that you will get up at 5 a.m. every morning and exercise. Now, if you don't get up, not only do you feel bad, but it feels like you have turned a blind eye to your own words. When there is a public commitment, the pressure increases. That is why many companies and marketers take a small commitment from you first, like filling out a survey, signing up for a free trial, or filling out a small form. When you take that first step, it becomes easier to take the next step. This is also called the foot in the door technique. This principle is powerful because we want to see ourselves as consistent. If you consider yourself to be a helpful person, then you will try to help in the future even if the situation is a little inconvenient. If you have called yourself disciplined, then you will adjust your behavior according to that image. In simple words, our actions shape our identity, and identity shapes future actions. It is smartly used in marketing. First a small request, then a bigger request. First, try this product free, then buy the full version. First, like this page, then subscribe. Gradually, the commitment increases and the person moves in the same direction. The most interesting thing is that sometimes we feel that we are making logical decisions, but actually we are justifying our past decisions. There is also a positive side of consistency. If you write your goals and share them publicly, then chances are high that you will achieve them. Written commitment is stronger because it becomes visible proof. This is the reason why successful people clearly define their goals. Once your mind accepts something as your choice, it works hard to defend it. But there is danger when the initial commitment is in the wrong direction. A small yes can sometimes become a big responsibility. Therefore, it is important to take a pause before every commitment. Ask yourself, does this decision align with my values? Will I be comfortable with it in the future? Commitment and consistency give us stability, but blind consistency can also trap us. It is smart to consciously choose your commitments, because once you say yes, your mind starts building a story to support that yes. Awareness will help you make the right commitments so that you become the master of your decisions, not their slave. When the crowd shows the way, when we don't know what is right, then what do? We look at others. This is the power of social proof. In naturally uncertain situations, a person observes the behavior of the people around him for guidance. If everyone is going in the same direction, then we also think that maybe that is the right way. Our mind assumes that so many people cannot be wrong. Imagine you have gone to a new city and there are two restaurants in front of you. One is empty and the other has a long line. Without thinking too much, who will you choose? Most people choose the same place where there is a crowd, because the crowd becomes a signal of quality. This is also the case in the online world. If there are millions of views on a video, we assume that it is valuable. Reviews, ratings, comments are all modern forms of social proof. This principle is related to survival. In the old days, it was safe to be with a group. If the group is running, then maybe there is a danger. If the group is eating something, then maybe it is safe. That's why our brain uses other people's behavior as a shortcut. In simple words, social proof reduces thinking effort. We don't have to do deep analysis. We copy the decision of the crowd. But this shortcut often takes us in the wrong direction. If a wrong idea goes viral, then millions of people start following it. Stock market bubbles, social media trends, fake news. These are all examples of herd behavior. People don't check themselves. They just see what others are doing. When there is more uncertainty, the power of social proof increases. Its strongest effect happens when the crowd is like us. If our age group, profession, or background people prefer something, then we have more confidence. Marketers understand this psychology and use lines like most popular choice or people like you bought this. These simple words subtly influence our decision. There is also a positive side of social proof. If you want to develop good habits, then stay among people who have the same habits. Environment shapes behavior. When there are disciplined people around you, then discipline will seem normal. When there are people with growth mindset around you, then improvement will seem natural. But awareness is important. Not every trending thing is valuable, and not every viral content is right. Next time, when you are unsure about a decision, ask yourself, do I really want this, or am I just doing this because everyone is doing it? Crowd can give direction, but final decision should be yours. Social proof is powerful, but control will remain when you consciously choose which crowd to follow. Chapter 4. Authority Uniform. Effective Position and Power. Friends, we have been taught to listen to teachers, listen to police, follow doctors' advice. Gradually, a deep belief is formed in our mind that authority is right. This is the reason when a person talks in a confident tone or with a degree, we automatically give more importance to what he says. The principle of authority is based on this natural tendency. Think about it. If a normal person gives you a health tip and the same tip is given in a doctor's white coat, whose words will seem more believable? The content may be the same, but the impact changes. Symbols of authority, like title, designation, expensive office, luxury car, formal dress, all these signals are mine that the person in front is an expert. In simple words, appearance creates influence. Psychology experiments have shown that people often follow such instructions which are morally uncomfortable only because the authoritative authority is in a position. When the burden of responsibility shifts to God, the person feels less accountable. He feels that if something goes wrong, then the responsibility is of that authority. This mindset gives birth to blind obedience. In marketing and advertising, the use of authority is very common. Experts recommend scientifically proven, doctor-approved, like words build trust. Sometimes actors play the role of a doctor, and the audience subconsciously considers them real experts. Uniform and confident body language amplifies persuasion. Authority also has a positive side. Real experts' guidance helps us save time and make better decisions. Researching everything is not practical. If someone is truly qualified and experienced, their advice is valuable. Society runs smoothly when the genuine authority is respected, but danger comes when the authority is fake or misused. To be smart does not mean to rebel, but to be aware. Whenever an authority figure says something, ask yourself a simple question. Is there real evidence behind it? Is this person really an expert or just looks like an expert? Respect and blind obedience make a difference. Authority is powerful because it makes decision-making easier. We think that if an expert has said something, it will be right. But true power comes when you listen and think. You can create uniform and title influence, but the final judgment depends on your understanding. Awareness gives you the power. Chapter 5. Scarcity. What is less is more valuable. Friends, have you noticed that as soon as something is written as only 2 left or limited time offer, urgency arises in us? The same product that seemed normal yesterday suddenly seems valuable today. This is the principle of scarcity. When the availability of something decreases, its perceived value increases automatically. Our mind wants to avoid loss, so we start making decisions quickly. There is a strong fear in human psychology, fear of missing out. If we feel that an opportunity is coming to us, we react with more emotion than logic. Sale is about to end, seats are limited, membership is exclusive. These words create pressure in us. In simple words, scarcity creates urgency, and urgency reduces thinking time. In the business world, scarcity is a powerful marketing tool. Flash sales, countdown timers, limited edition products are all based on this principle. When supply seems low, demand increases automatically. Auction system is a classic example of this. When many people bid for the same thing, then competition and scarcity together take the price up. Many times people pay more than the real value of the product only because they feel that if they don't buy now, they will never get it. Scarcity is not limited to products only. Information can also be scarce. Secret strategy, exclusive content, private access. All these words increase curiosity and desire. When knowledge seems limited, it feels more powerful. This also happens in relationships. If a person is less available, his value increases. This principle also has a positive side. Limited time pressure sometimes takes us out of procrastination. If there is no deadline, Many tasks are never completed. Scarcity can trigger focus and action. But the difference is whether scarcity is genuine or artificial. To make a smart decision, it is important to take a pause and ask yourself, is it really rare or is it just being shown? Whenever you are in a hurry to make a decision, slow down. Take a breath. Activate logic again. If the offer is really valuable, then thinking for a while will not reduce its value. But if it is just a psychological trick, your pause can save you from unnecessary regret. Scarcity reminds us that a person is more afraid of loss than he is excited about gain. We make wrong choices in fear of losing. Awareness is protection. When you understand how scarcity works, you can take a calm decision instead of getting caught in the trap of urgency. Real power comes when you decide whether it is really rare or important and whether it is just a clever marketing strategy. Conclusion. Understanding the influence is understanding yourself. A person considers himself rational. We think that we take every decision by thinking, by looking at the facts, by applying logic. But when we look at these principles of influence in depth, reciprocation, commitment and consistency, social proof, authority and scarcity, then a truth is revealed. Many of our decisions are driven by automatic patterns. These patterns are so subtle that we do not even know, and we have already said yes. Reciprocation forces us to answer in return for the favor. Commitment binds us to our own words and past decisions. Social proof makes the crowd a compass. Authority creates trust through uniform and title. Scarcity creates urgency and pushes logic behind. All these principles are not bad. Actually, society runs smoothly. Problems arise when they are used for manipulation. Real power is not in knowledge but in awareness. When you know how these triggers work, you automatically become a little conscious in every situation. You do not react immediately, you take a pause. That pause gives you freedom. Freedom to choose. Freedom to say yes for the right reasons. Freedom to say no without guilt. Understanding influence is not only to protect yourself from others, but also to make yourself a better communicator. If you do business, create content, are in a leadership role, or want to improve relationships in daily life, then these principles can be used in an ethical way. Building trust, giving value, clear communication are all examples of positive influence. The most important lesson is that human behavior is predictable, but not fixed. With awareness, you can change your patterns. Next time when you see a limited offer, when the crowd pushes a trend, when an authority claims strongly, or when someone gives a favor and makes a big request, just stop for a second and ask yourself, is this my independent decision? Influence is everywhere. The question is not whether there will be influence or not. The question is, who will be in control? You or someone else? When you understand these psychological principles, you not only see the world from a different perspective, but also start to understand yourself better. And that is where the real freedom begins.